who we are hoping we can fit all his roles of award-winning composer, songwriter, producer, musical director and teacher into a single sentence. RJ Benjamin has worked with many established musicians in the country and has since decided to turn the attention back on himself by releasing his latest album titled The Fifth Story. He joins us now to tell us more about the album and describes it as a good mix of happy and reflective songs. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
A self-imposed sabbatical. What was going on? Why did you deem it necessary? And what has that process taught you and done for you, not only as a human, but also as an artist?
Well, yeah, I think you do need self-reflection as an artist, and I think every artist. I can only speak for the South African music industry, but there's always pressure. At the end of the day, you need to get your music onto radio, and in order to do that, you obviously have to create music that fits the market. And for me, that was very tough because I suppose musically I am what I am. But I got swept up in the hype. There was this big house song called Change the World, which came out in about 2009. And for a couple of years, it was huge. And I bought into that myself. I was doing a lot of performances at a lot of clubs and chisanyamas and you name it, all around Southern Africa, not necessarily just South Africa. And I kind of just realized at that point that it's not the artist I want to be, and it wasn't something I could convincingly sell. I was on that stage, and I always felt like there was someone watching me who was like, I don't believe you. And musically speaking, I felt like I'd lost my way, so to speak. And I felt like I needed to take a step back, so I did. The other thing I've always been is a vocal coach, a music teacher, and I really wanted to play my part in finding talents, particularly South African talent, and developing that talent, and finding the future stars. And so I spent a lot of my time, probably for the past, let's say, 5 years, doing that on various music reality shows. Some people will know me from those roles. And while that was happening, I suppose life was happening, and I wrote an album. Whatever experiences I had, which was ultimately initially being really heartbroken, and then finding my wife, who, by the way, is singing with me on the song I just performed. Her name's Chantel Stanfield, and the album's about that.
Now, RJ, Change the World was a huge song. It's going to be very difficult for people to forget that, to forget your performances during that time, to forget kind of the artist that you were.
Yeah.
Won't you just quickly remind us who RJ was before that song that saw you maybe think, this isn't quite who I am? Well,
look, initially I came out, I was a R&B soul artist, maybe sort of leaning toward quite jazzy. So I didn't have, let's say, like this mass market. But that was my brand. There was a song called See You in My Dreams, which initially played on Metro. I was so grateful that they played it, because no one knew who I was at that stage. People might know the first lines. I think I sing what? A liar, cheater, da-da. Anyway, it goes on.
Yes.
Then there was a track called Shut Up, which came out a few years later, which some people may know. There was a track that I did with Slicker, ex-Squatter Camp member, called Dreamer, which is very close to my heart. I can't see the light and the future is bright because I'm a dreamer. Right. That song, I still felt like that song kind of reflected who I wanted to be musically. So Fantastic. That was pre-Change the World RJ,
Okay.
Look, we're a house nation. Let's not lie. South Africa loves house music. I know we've maybe moved over into the trap nation, but you can't deny that, Black Coffee is still the boss, there's incredible groups in this country who are pretty much 100% house music. Mikasa, Donald, Liquid Deep, for several years are there, Bussy, so it's a huge part of the South African sort of heartbeat. And I felt like I was a part of that, but I didn't feel like I could sustain that.
So with The Fifth Story, we definitely get to experience you in your growth after the break you took, you in your authenticity, you in giving us what rings true to the person and artist that you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting married and I suppose finding who I truly believe is my soulmate changed a lot for me in my mindset, which was I want to have children now. I want to start a family. And when my children and their children and their children's children listen back to my music, I want them to feel like when they listen to those albums, they understood who their great-grandfather was, or however far the generations go.
All about the longevity.
These are my stories, you know, these are my stories. I want to know that I reflect truly on who I was for generations to come.
Fantastic, RJ. Thank you so much for your time. Award-winning composer, songwriter, producer, musical director, teacher, RJ Benjamin, speaking to us about his latest album titled The Fifth Story. It features hits such as Daliwam with Wanda Baloyi and